Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Blue Abroad Show here on the Blue Abroad YouTube channel. Welcome back to footy. We've had a little break, we've had a bye, and we are back to regular programming. I am obviously here welcoming you to the new Blue Abroad studio. It has been a week. I'm looking forward to unpacking your week. Let me tell you, it has been a fucking week. I was hoping for a chilled bye, but it wasn't to be. And I couldn't tell you how close this show was to not happening, but I'm glad it did. I'm hoping everything works. I'm hoping the connection's good. I'm hoping the sound is good, the video is good. If there are issues, just don't worry. Things are changing. Very, very much like our club. We've made changes. We've implemented the new changes. We're having a crack again. There will be teething issues. Things won't be good straight away. There will be issues. But anyway, it's good to be back. It's good to have you all back. Tonight's show will be a little bit more compact than usual. I'm going to get a lot more of your input in the show. I'm going to put a link for you guys to call in. If you want to save it in your browsers, please do. We obviously don't have a game to review, but we do have a game to preview this week. So we're going to preview the D's game. We're going to do a little bit more of a deep dive around the league, around the grounds, what we saw. And then what we're going to do is we're going to focus on this week. And then I've also got a pretty special giveaway. So this week, Sunday, as part of the Ben Ainsworth sponsorship, I will be going to the President's Club function for this week. And I've got a spare ticket. And so that spare ticket will be going to somebody tonight, one of you lucky people who are members of Blue Abroad. So if you would like to enter this giveaway and any future giveaway, please be sure to sign up to the Blue Abroad membership. The link is in the live chat right now. It's pinned to the top. And so I'll be spinning the wheel a little later this evening, and somebody's going to join me at the President's Club function. And someone's also going to be sitting next to me. So it's President's Club function. We get the 3-course meal. We get the whole hoo-ha. And then we get reserve seats in the Olympic stand. And yeah, it's going to be great. We're going to have a day out with somebody. One of my members, I'm going to have a day out with you. So I will spin the wheel. I will call people, and I will basically wait until somebody accepts the ticket before we finish the night tonight. So anyway, how are you guys? How was your week? Yes. So I've moved house. The Blue Abroad studio has moved. I haven't been robbed, although I kind of have been robbed. I'll explain. Maybe I'll start there. So just to give you context, right? To start this story out. So I've moved houses. Okay. So the studio's moved, and maybe we can sort of like look back to look forward. I wanted to find some screenshots of like the studios from back in the day, right? So I'm going to share my screen here. This is where we were. This is where I was. This was early 2020. This is where it was. If you guys remember, I used to sit. This was like the spare room at my parents' place. I had just moved back to the country. The exercise bike was in the background. So we went from there. And then the first time we moved into the new place was here. So as you can see, this was the first video of, moving into the new place, which is now the old place. And so now I'm here, and now we're here. The setup will change. I didn't want it to be perfect. To be honest, I didn't have time for it to be perfect. I wanted to start here. The rug is here. The rug is sitting right there. It's going to go up again. I'm going to figure out what I'm going to do with the background. To be honest, it's the least of my concerns right now. I just wanted to make sure that I could get here, get live. So anyway, things have changed. things are changing. And as I was doing the whole move, it just, I think all of us think about Carlton in pretty much nearly everything that we do. I was thinking of the same thing. Like, I was so concerned about it being perfect. I'm like, mate, you're just making changes. Let them settle. And I think there's something in that for our team and our club right now. So also, well, I'll get to that in a minute. Firstly, how are you guys doing? What happened in your week off? Sandra, hello to you. Hello, Kez. You've had a nice week off. Gokhan, Mr. Jones Icon, hello. Hello, Jed. Hello, Jen. You were awesome last week. Hello, Lou Felino. Hello, Maz. Hello, Cornelius McVarnock. Hello, sir. Hello, Rocco. Lou, got a good feeling about Sunday's game. I actually found some really interesting insights today. I did a chat with Caden McDonald at the MCG, and I found out some really interesting perspective from his side of things, from the Melbourne side of things, which I'll share a little later. Hello, Julie. Hello, Carlton Whiskey Club. Beautiful weather here in Melbourne today. It was. You got BA withdrawals in the buy coming so early. Yeah. Can I be honest though? I think the buy's been good for us. There was a lot of overreaction after the first two games, particularly about how good the Ds were going to be this year and how good the Bombers were going to be this year and how we'd be lucky to win 6 games. So I'm kind of happy to see a little bit more of the season play out. And I just don't think things are as bad as what it's been made out to be. Sandra was a bit lost, 100%. Enjoyed a footy on the weekend. Very good. Hello, Dominator78. Paul, you are here in the country. You've made it. You've touched down on Australian soil. You're in Hobart. Welcome, mate. It's good to have you here. Gavin, you thought I'd been robbed. Well, you know what? Funny you say that. So let me paint this picture for you. So Saturday was my last day in the old place. So everything had been moved out of the apartment apart from the studio. So I wanted to go on Saturday and just chill in the studio one last time, watch the footy, hang out during the day and sort of make one last afternoon for it. So I got there at about 1 o'clock. I left at about 7:30 to come back here and, watch the night game, right? So underneath the old building, there's a car park and I've got an electric bike. I actually did get robbed. Check this out. And I got the CCTV footage. So this guy here rolls into the building. Not a worry in the world. Goes straight to the intercom. Not a worry in the world. Disarms the fucking door. Walks straight through. Straight into the building. He goes and he fucking steals my electric bike. This prick stole my fucking bike. It's unbelievable. So he's come out here. He's gone out because once you're underneath the car park, you can get out. So he struggled to get out there, as you can see. And then check this out. So keep in mind, this is an electric bike. Yeah. So you don't really need to pedal, especially uphill. This motherfucker gets out. And he pedals and he struggles with it. It's like, bro, it's an electric bike. And away he goes. And away look at his peanut. Look at him. Fucking peanut. So anyway, that was a great way. Well, not really. It was fucking shit. But yeah, I did get robbed, Gav, which is kind of funny. Yeah. But I had so much more important things to worry about. But yeah. Scary stuff out there. He literally just rolled into the building, not a worry in the world. I don't know. My conspiracy theory tells me that it was an inside job. Nobody knows how to walk into a building, press a couple of buttons on an intercom system, disarm the lock, get in. There's a bit, I don't know. It's a bit how you're going. Yeah. Blue Bagger, you only watch this show in the hope you see the wheel. You will see the wheel. We will be spinning that damn thing tonight. And also, I've got 4 reserved seat tickets to give away for Sunday's game. Level 1 on the wing. So I will do that on the team's show on Thursday. But tonight I will be giving away, really, it's an experience. You're going to come with me, go to the President's Club function, and then we're going to go sit in the reserve seats there on level 2 right outside the Olympic room, and it's going to be great. So, Gavin, the bye rounds suck. Bugs Bell, you've never been embarrassed to be a Blue supporter until recently. Not because of our poor performances, but the fans who think they can fix everything by calling the radio or online to bag out our club. Yeah, it's there's a lot of feeling out there, and I mean, I want to actually speak to as many people tonight. So if you'd like to call in, I'm going to put the link in. Please do. I'd like to actually get a bit of perspective on where we're at, because I felt like there was a general understanding in the preseason that, hey, we've made all these changes, it's going to take time. We need to give it, don't judge it in the first month or 2 months, like sort of give it 5, 6, 7 games, see how it lands and go from there. Not a bad showing against the Swans in the first half. Obviously, the third quarter happens, you give up 12 goals, unacceptable, like obviously. Richmond, you hold on. I heard a lot of it felt like a loss. It didn't feel like a loss because last year it felt like a loss because it was a loss. I think people forgot how bad the loss to Richmond really was last year. Maybe it's just footy's new, footy's fresh, overreactions, maybe some residual, I don't know what you call it, frustration. I thought the conversation with Franco last week was really interesting. And yeah, I guess I want to hear from you guys to see if maybe your perspective's changed after watching a few of the other rounds, some of the other teams now that it's all settled. I've got someone here. Kareem. Hello, mate.
Tesla, mate, how's it going?
Mate, I'm going well. How are you?
Good, man. Bye was good. Looking forward to the Blue Boys back this week.
Well, you've just taken me in the time warp because I was showing the old studio. And I remember like back in the day, I used to call in back then.
Yeah, I was a little kid as well. Geez, it's been a crazy couple of weeks, hasn't it?
Yeah. What's your take on it? Like, are you as panicky as what it seems to be out there?
Nah, not at all. Like, I was at the Richmond game and the whole time I just had my headphones in, listening to music, and like, if whatever happens, happens. So I know where we're at. Like, I think, what's it called? I remember during the trade period, you had Chris Davies on at the last video, the last live stream I saw, and he said something. I think he said along the lines is, our team overall will be better, but it will take time to see those improvements. So since then, I think I've been realizing that we're not a contender. We're gonna, like, clearly we're not a contender when we traded all those 3 players. So I think people are just like forgetting where we're at, and yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's just me being too like accepting where we're at.
Yeah, it's a slippery slope, right? Because you sort of get tagged with the whole you're accepting mediocrity. I actually think I've accepted reality, and that is, it ain't this year. As much as I want it to be this year, I went to a function on last Wednesday night. It was like a club function, right? And sort of Graham Wright was asked the question up on stage about Tasmania, and he made some really interesting comments in the evening. And he sort of said, like, there's a few things and some levers that we can pull with Tasmania that we're, sort of talking about it. I'm listening to it, and a lot of people will say, oh, I need the club to come out and say it. It's like, no, you don't, because I think one thing I've learned about Carlton is they're never going to say it, but their actions will do the talking. So if you can just sort of look at the actions, the trades, the moves, all of that stuff, I think it's pretty clear where the club's at.
Yeah, I mean, didn't the club kind of say it without saying it when they could have got down Houston and went for Jagger Smith?
That was the first one.
Yeah, exactly. So I think the club's been saying that without, like you said, saying it for a while now. So maybe, I mean, like you said, maybe the club saw Tasmania coming in through that. I don't know when they got introduced, they were coming through, and they said, yeah, the draft is now the attack. You get the Harry Deans, the Walkers, the Jagger Smiths, build around them. And it's probably perfect timing if you think about it. Like Tasmania's coming through, Cripps is getting a little bit older. It's a new generation of players. So I think the club's made a smart decision, although they need to improve the way they're playing.
Yeah.
But I think we can all see how they're going through this path, and maybe it's the smartest path we could go through at the moment.
Yeah, man. No, it's totally.
I don't know. I'm maybe too relaxed, but I just know where we are.
I don't think you're too relaxed. I thought it was pretty clear. I thought we all had this general understanding in the preseason, like, hey, listen, this is all. We've lost this person, we've lost that person. Like the team's going to need some time to gel. And then, like 2 games in, we're like, oh my god, where are we at? What are we doing? What's the club doing? Like, why are they being unaccountable? Where's the transit? It's
crazy. Yeah.
So, what about this week, mate?
Yeah. Against we got Melbourne, don't we? Yeah, I think we should be able to win that. But Melbourne. I think Melbourne's one of those teams that, like, if you let them play the way they want to play, they'll get at you. So, if we better play. We're gonna improve against. I think we'll improve. Like more weeks, new players playing together. I think we'll get better. So, yeah, I think we should beat Melbourne. Yeah, that should be a win there. Yeah, hopefully. Next 2 games are important. I will say that. So, you got to win those 2 games, and then we'll get the season starting.
Yeah. Man, good to hear from you. Thanks for calling in.
You too, man. Have a good night.
See you, man. Carlton Whiskey Club.
Hey.
How are you?
What a level-headed young man. That was fantastic.
Seems to be the way. I've spoken to quite a few younger people who seem to kind of understand where we're at. Not to say that if you're older you don't understand, but just there's a lot of overreaction out there.
Yeah, maybe the weight of history isn't as significant when you're younger and you don't remember the good times, and all you remember is Mark Murphy and those days.
Yeah. How have you absorbed? I didn't really speak to you much directly after the first 2 rounds, but how did you absorb the first 2 rounds? And anything changed from preseason what you thought to now, and even with the bye now?
Look, I'll quickly go through it. I thought going to Icon Park for the Geelong game, fantastic. You could kind of see the way the guys wanted to move the ball, even though it's under almost zero pressure. The Sydney game felt like an inevitability. I mean, the third quarter was as big a shit show as I've seen in a long time. But the loss, I think, was an inevitability that we all kind of notched in. We just didn't want to see it that way. And the Richmond game, dude, like, it's, I feel like I've seen it before. I'm not with this team, but I've definitely seen it before. And I wasn't expecting to see us play with such little fight. I really thought that we're going to come out. I felt like we came out as a crowd and really wanted to put the club on our shoulders. You could feel the noise, the excitement, and the boys kind of took that in. I'm not sure if you felt that too. The boys kind of took that into the first quarter, at least half. And then, I don't know, it's like they went in, someone spiked the oranges, and they came out and just went back to, I don't know, like the old days, but without having the same quality of players.
I had a really interesting conversation with one of the new players at this event last week, and I asked him. I said, what's the wrap up from the third quarter? Do the boys sort of get in their heads? He's like, I don't know what you're talking about. He's like, it's not. He's like, I have no idea what you're talking about. It's got like, he's like, I'm 2 games in, 1 game in. He's like, honestly, like, I'm not even thinking about that in the third quarter. I'm just trying to play my role. Like, I don't think about any of that. He's like, it doesn't affect me. And I thought it was a really interesting point because almost I felt bad. Like I was putting it on to him. I was bringing it to his attention. And I think it's just a really interesting psychological.
Yeah, I think that if looking at it as a psychologist, you would say that's a good way to guard, something that's painful that's happened to you. As a supporter of the club, I am more of the I'm more of the way of saying put that third quarter up on repeat on video while they're training, being Kingsley Watt style, just to remind the players this is not what we want, this is not what's expected. And, I don't usually try and take the hard line, but you have to be thinking about that third quarter because it could have been any other team but Sydney. And for you to drop your head the way that we did, for us not to have a plan B or any other plan, but we'll keep doing what we're doing even though it's not working. There's a saying in soccer. Can you hear me?
You don't reckon they made any changes?
I think that if they did make changes, we didn't notice them in game. And it feels like for us, it feels like a lifetime watching it on TV or in the stands. 10 minutes is quick in footy, and it felt like 12 minutes, and they'd kicked 9 goals or whatever it is, and they just had the rub of the green, the ball's bouncing their way, everything's going right. So you can look at that and say, oh, it's going to happen. We played games when we were firing where we would kick 7-8 goals in a quarter as well. But it's just, you don't want to see a team this early in the season dropping the head, especially when you go out there supposedly looking for blood. It seemed like Haywood and Florent definitely wanted to fight more than we did with Curnow.
Oh, wait, are we talking about the Sydney game?
I'm talking about the Sydney game. We're talking about the third quarter of the Richmond game.
Oh, right.
Sorry. The Richmond game. No. The Richmond game, forget third quarters. It's the entire second half was just us taking the foot completely off and just saying, oh, well, we're up by enough. We're fine. We're good to go.
You really think
we
that?
should.
Enough.
I think that we went. Well, surely I would hope that it wasn't panic like what we first thought, kicking it long, doing what we normally do. I would hope that it's more preservation, and it sounded like Voss kind of sent that down the chain too by saying that the guys held on as opposed to punishing. You've already got the blokes on the ropes. They're young men, and we've got new players as well. But you've got a bunch of young guys playing in the Richmond team, and we made them look really good for a half of football, and they didn't deserve to at all.
They did. You got to give them credit. They did the same thing to Gold Coast until Lynch went down. They looked really competitive against the Gold Coast Suns. They lost all structure when Lynch went down. Yeah,
it's fair enough.
You got to give them credit and respect.
Yeah.
I think. Did you go
take
into
that
the
back.
game thinking we got to smash Richmond because we should, because we're us, or did you just say get the 4 points and get on with it?
Oh no! It's for me. The expectation is for me to see something better than I saw last week, and for me to see something better than I saw last year, which is hard when you've turned over 10 players and all the other stuff. But when you kick 63 points in a half, well then, I'm having a meat pie and a beer at halftime thinking, why not kick 63 points in another half?
Yeah.
Even if they kick 63 points themselves, how is it not a shootout? Is my point, That it just seemed like when we were watching it, even us as supporters in the stands, I felt like it went quiet. It kind of lost its intensity.
I think
we were just going through the motions until the fourth quarter.
I know I felt it last week. Like, oh gosh, here we go again.
Yeah,
we're missing the easy ones. Didn't take our opportunities. Whatever easy one that we, really got to be doing better in those situations. And then the doubt starts creeping in. For me, like I said earlier, a lot of people said, "Oh, it feels like a loss." it did not feel like a loss because
No,
last
not at
year
all.
is what it would feel like if it was a loss.
No, losing to Richmond last year. That felt like a loss, and that was completely different. It was like a funeral walking out of the MCG, as opposed to, it just felt like a bit meh. But you know what? You'd rather lose meh than the win like that than lose like that. Is what I'm trying to say. It's just not.
So before a ball's been thrown up this week, because it's like we talk about what did happen in the past. It's easy, right? Like hindsight. So this week, Sunday, Melbourne, 3:10 p.m.
Yep.
You go into the game saying what? Got to win by X amount. Like where do you think we're at?
Well, first of all, Melbourne Carlton games have been my favourite since they had Tom Green on their side. So I'm already excited to begin with. But no, although I want to win, of course, I want to win. I want to win every single game, especially the rivalry games. And I feel like Melbourne is one of our new age rivals, even though it's not really put into the media or anything like the Collingwoods or your Essendons. And I want to see us fight. I just want to see us fight like we normally do. Somehow we seem to work it out with Melbourne, and we fight for 4 quarters. And this is why the game normally comes down to the wire.
That's stressful.
It is stressful. It's Carlton. What do you mean? It's do you know what team you go for? It's literally stressful as our middle name.
Yeah, I think after the way everything started, and also just being a supporter, like I expect no easy game this year at any point. It doesn't even register.
Well, no, the coach, everything coming out of the club. The players have made that quite clear. I wasn't expecting it to come out this soon, that we need to be bracing for the worst and hoping for the best. But, I think I wrote this last week, and I said this to the boys last night.
Yeah.
We all ask for change, and by all of us, I mean, especially the people that watch your show, the real crazy lovers of Carlton Football Club. We said, if you don't want to play for Carlton, leave. So that's what we did. We got rid of them. And to our detriment, we got rid of them. We got rid of the best full forward in the competition in Curnow, or he left, but really, he may have been pushed. The best new ruckman in the competition, and young JSOS, who, we watched grow up. Doherty, now we know, may or may not have been the best in the locker room from a mindset point of view, but he went through his own wars. So they did that for us. Then we said, well, if we're going to stick fat with Voss, get him better coaches. So they went out, spent all this money. We've got Boak. We've got Simpson. We've got all these people in the back of house trying to make things work. Get new players, good young stars, or even a bunch of B-grade players from other clubs that we know we can either make better or can play their role. So they went out and they did that. Florent, Haywood, Ainsworth, young Jagger gets to finally play. So I'm starting to tick all these things off. And the thing that's missing in all of this is our expectations haven't changed. The goalposts haven't moved. We thought, okay, if we tick these things off, well, then we're a chance. Do you agree?
Sort of, to a point. Do you think there's a lot out there that are struggling to come to terms with the fact that rebuild 2.0 is over? And we're into the next wave now?
No, I just think that we've never seen it like this. It's not coming to terms with, this is not a Carlton rebuild. This is when we thought Graham Wright was coming and what he did with Collingwood and the other clubs. This is what's happening now. This is called long-term, and it's been that way for the last 5 years. Financially secure club, no longer have to rely on the AFL. We do what we want. We have that tick, and we've had that for a while now. members, paid up members, tick. We've had that for a while now. People forget that when the club was just as bad and mediocre on the field 10, 12 years ago, no one was going to the football. Like, we still had decent crowds because we're Carlton, but not like now. Not 85,000 members, 100,000 members year on year. So we have all that's been solidified now. Trying to get the back of house right feels like was the next mission. I'm not sure if I think the Voss contract kind of is a stumbling block to that. Only because maybe the powers that be, the CEO and all that, I'm sure they wished his contract was over at the end of last year because they could have cut ties cleanly, and I think that's what we want to do with it. They don't want to have another sack the coach Carlton joke, hashtag Carlton just sacks coaches as soon as things start going bad. But they also haven't re-signed him.
Well, has he earned another contract?
No, he hasn't. He hasn't earned another contract. But, this is what the big boy football clubs do, I guess. They let people see out their contracts, or they bring in a new coach while the old coach is there, a supposed powerhouse clubs. And then we end up with a new coach instead of sacking one and interim. The whole year's lost anyway. And then we end up with a new coach at some point who has a couple of games to start off, a honeymoon period, yada, yada, yada. I like it. I want to do it properly. And if this is what it means for doing it properly and it's going to suck for a little bit, like it's sucked for so long now, going through these rebuilds, trying to do things right, but doing them in like the fast way, the cheating way, as opposed to just, it's nuts and bolts. And I hate it because I wanted to go to the football and see us punish Richmond and go to Melbourne. And nothing would make me happier than saying, how good are we? We're a top 4 side. When can we say that? We said that 2024 at the start. And how good did that feel after 2023? What a high that was. But that's just not our reality, unfortunately. So we're going to have to take the slow approach.
What if we just wait and see what happens at the end of the season and then make a decision with all the information rather than sort of projecting before round 4? What if we did that?
I don't think that the AFL landscape allows for you to make decisions in the moment. I think you have to be forward thinking, and that's the reason why we got guys like Greenrock. As fans, we're hostage regardless, and I say this all the time to my mates, and we're all Carlton supporters. We can think what we want and say what we want. We're just passengers, unfortunately, along for this ride. Yeah. And what's the point of going through life as a Carlton supporter, talking shit about the club, complaining about the club, like someone said earlier on the chat, going on the radio and saying how bad the club is and how bad it is being a member and how long you've been a member and all these things. Dude, you got to ride the wave. It just sometimes,
Or just cancel the membership, take a year off. If the rebuilds are just too much, if it's too hard, if you can't stomach it, like take a year off. And then when they're back up and running and the team's doing well, you'd get back on and then everyone's happy.
I mean, it's easier said than done. We've been doing this a long time. I don't like talking about it, but honestly, that Collingwood game in 2022, that's the one that kind of sealed it for me in giving, so much of my emotional bandwidth to the club. I'll give them time. I'll give them money. I'll go to the games. I love this club, but I'll no longer let them dictate how I feel because, mate, that one really broke me.
Yeah, that was tough. That's why I think I mean, I think I've heard this phrase. You said it earlier, like, "Oh, that was the worst quarter I've seen," or "This was the worst thing I've seen." I reckon I've seen just about all of it.
Yep.
Saw 19 straight goals against Port Adelaide. That was the worst thing I'd ever seen. Then Collingwood was the worst thing I'd ever seen. And then Cozzy Pickett, before we played Collingwood that year, that was the worst thing I'd seen. Like, yeah. Anyway, mate,
Yep. Look,
chat.
hey, nice to chat. I'm glad you're back, mate.
Good to have you back too.
See you, mate. Good luck with the move, buddy.
See ya. Thank you. Billy Bolster. My mouth is watering for the Pito v Gorn heavyweight. Go the Baggers. Yeah, it's a massive test for Pito. We've got Paul. Paul, hello, mate.
Hey Terry, can you hear me? Because
Yeah, mate.
I lost your sound earlier, and I can't hear you at all, mate.
You can't hear me now?
I can't hear you. I heard the first caller and you, and the second caller I didn't hear you at all. I wasn't sure if it was going to work, whether you were going to cut in or not. But look, I'll try again. I'll cut out now and I'll try again, mate. I'll come back.
All right. What I'll do is I will remove you now. I'll put the link in the chat for you as well. That's so bizarre. I thought once he got to Australia, it would be fine. Anyway, so Paul's come from the UK to Australia for the next couple of weeks. He's going to be at the game on Sunday. And yeah, it's good to have him in the country again. Hopefully see a couple of wins. And yeah, I wanted to just also touch on something that I noticed last week. So I went to the Season Unplugged. That was what the name of the event was called. It was called Season Unplugged. It was like, yeah, a sponsors dinner. You got to sit on the table with your player, etc. I spoke to Jagger quickly, just said a quick, hello. A friend of mine wanted a photo with him, took a photo, and I'm like, congratulations on the rising star. And I've never. I remember I was impressed with Walsh because of what he did on the field and the training track and the standards, and he trained with such an intensity. Man, this kid Jagger, like, he's just got an energy about him. It's so pure. He's so grateful for every second. And I think it's really rare to see that. Maybe just because we've seen a lot of these players for a lot of time, but I'm pretty big on don't let whatever frustration that's just built over time, don't put it onto the kids, man. Don't put it onto these new ones. We said this when Walsh and co came through the ranks. But yeah, Jagger's just got such a joy to him, and it's really interesting. Paul, let's try again. You there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
We're all good. We're all good.
How good?
Finally. I thought maybe being in Hobart, I was a bit closer to Antarctica. I thought maybe that was the problem, mate.
Tell me about the journey. You've come to Australia to watch the Blues again?
I have. Look, I didn't get enough because I didn't see a win, did I?
True.
So, we're going to have to win the next two games and move on from there. And look, I am so excited. I am buzzing to be back here. I've been here since last Thursday in Sydney. I'm in my quest as well to tick off all the states in Australia in a 12-month period. So I did ACT, Canberra yesterday, Tassie today, work my way up through Tasmania over the next few days, arriving in Melbourne Thursday and going home via Adelaide. Well, I think I am, but at the moment I have no flight because I'm supposed to be flying on Qatar Airways, and I don't want to get shot down. So who knows? Hey.
Mate, well, how have you watched the start of the season? And I mean, even generally around the league, how have your observations evolved?
Well, there's been a few surprise results. I was in Sydney at the weekend, and I went out and I watched the GWS St Kilda game, and well, St Kilda took such a huge lead, but they almost got overhauled at the death. I mean, I was really screaming for GWS to win, and they failed by one goal, but they missed so many kicks. GWS in the first half that they could have won that at the end. It was disappointing to me that they didn't. But look, I think you know. I don't think anyone expects that we're gonna win anything this year. I certainly don't, but I do expect us to improve. I do expect this young team to get better as the season develops. I'm absolutely super excited to see Jagger. I cannot wait to see Jagger this weekend, and partnership with Walsh in the midfield and Dean in the back line. To get all these youngsters back in our team, it's going to take time to build, this club so that it starts challenging for titles. It's not going to happen this season, but yeah, I'm really hoping that we're going to see some good things. As for the Richmond game, I was watching that at home, and listen, I really needed a defibrillator in my house because the last 2 minutes, I just couldn't take it. I couldn't take it. Yeah, it was really a tough watch. Yeah, thank God for Young taking that intercept. Yeah, otherwise I think we'd have been dead meat there at the end, mate.
Yeah, it was. When I sort of reflect on the first 2 weeks, I hope so anyway. I kind of feel like it's a bit of a monkey off the back because, the Sydney game was always built up with this emotional attachment to it. It's out of the way. It's done. Now we don't have to think about Charlie. Like, you sort of get a bit of closure to a degree. And then the Richmond one, well, the whole build-up was 12 months ago and what happened and the collapse and, and to even have the Tigers come back and, almost pinch it. I think to get those two out of the way and have a bye and then I think they will have had 3 or 4 proper training sessions between Richmond and Melbourne this Sunday to work on whatever they've got to work on. And so, yeah, even to what Carlton Whiskey Club said earlier, just to see incremental bits of improvement week to week. I think that's really where we're at right now. We've got a pretty healthy team right now. Injuries are coming. Every team is getting them, and there's no doubt that we will get our fair share. Hopefully not, but I think you can almost expect a level of, injury to hit your list throughout the year. Evans, Chera, Sard, I think may be available as early as this week. Cowan and Carroll have had their one game back in after their interruptions, and they should be up to speed. So, yeah, it's just a really important game Sunday.
Yeah, it's a huge game. It's a huge day for me personally as well, because I intend to start it out at Icon. I'm going to go to the VFL game beforehand, to hopefully see all of it, but I may have to leave early to get down to the MCG, and hoping to do the VFL game the week after as well, at North, so I can get in 2 double headers to see the mighty Blues and cheer them on, mate, before I try and get back home.
Mate, it's amazing, Paul. I love that. I say this to you every time, but the fact that you found Carlton and fell in love with Carlton last year of all years is quite special. So I can't believe you've traveled to this side of the world now for a second time, and shown your commitment to the club. I think we need more supporters like you, mate. So yeah, great to have you here, and I'll see you. We'll catch up. I'll see you when you get to Melbourne.
Yeah, indeed. Look forward to it, and love to catch up with any of the BA family, if any of them who are on here are at the next two games, I'm sure through you we can get together and say hello. It'd be brilliant. I'd love to meet as many people as possible. I mean, we are one blue family. Yeah, let's go. Let's go Blues.
On your Paul. See you, mate.
Take care, mate. Bye.
So good. So good. All right. So I had a chat this afternoon with Caden McDonald. And I guess maybe we can start previewing the Ds this week. We can sort of do it together. I had a chat with Caden McDonald. He made some really interesting points today. When you hear Carlton people speak this week, you sort of talk about, we might be a bit slow in the midfield, drop one of the slower boys, bring some pace in. Whereas he was telling me, he's a big Melbourne supporter. He was telling me one of the biggest problems they had last week was just the brute strength of the Fremantle midfield, broken tackles, etc. So I'm curious to get your thoughts in the chat now. Like, what are you thinking early days with selection? We don't know who's going to be available from that injury list, but let's just say maybe one or two of them are. What are you thinking this Sunday against the Ds? Yes, we can do coffee with Paul for sure. Also, there's training tomorrow. Open training tomorrow. Billy, outside is needed. Outside pace is needed. Okay. Billy, joining at the low point makes that winning more fruitful. Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. So, let me get along. All right. Brian, that's the other question too. Brian Ambrose McMahon. We need to play 2 rucks against Gawn. Yeah, that's a tough task. This might be one of those times. Lou Felino, you say Evans, Chera, Assad, or Boyd, Newman, and Dirksen. There's a lot of options there. I don't know if the VFL did a scratch match or a match simulation or an intra-club, so I have nothing on that. Gavin, you think we keep these slow second halves and save the hammies for a tilt at Stephen Bradbury type flag run? Yeah, it's a plague. Yeah, it is. I think Liberatore was the latest one with another hamstring. Tom Newman makes his return. Newman is one of the few players on the list, I think, that acts like a... You know how there's certain players that can be a coach out there? I think Newman is one of them. And I don't think we have enough of them. Pasquale, we need more from our captain, Cripper. Yeah, I reckon you're going to see more from the captain as the year goes on. Okay. Curly, so keen for Newman's composure, IQ, and leadership. No doubt. Only Carlton.
What's up? How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. I'm actually hyped up again. I was like, I enjoyed the week off footy because I got to watch other teams, and I actually did watch a lot of the other games. But yeah, no, I'm ready to get back into it. I'm actually so excited. I'm actually hyped. I think we'll win. I think we'll win by a comfortable margin. I don't know if that's like the general consensus, but I'm really confident.
I think we're too strong for their midfield.
Yeah.
Overall, like Jack Steele's a pretty big body, fair. But I think overall, that's our biggest strength right there. Obviously, they can hurt us if we don't use the ball well on the turnover. They're quick. But just on that, I'm curious. Another set of eyes. What have you noticed from the league? Like, because the reason why I ask is after opening round or round 1, a lot of the talk was, Essendon are going to be better than us. Melbourne, if they play like that, could be top 8. St Kilda, and then it seems to just have chilled out a little bit.
Yeah, no, I mean, look, watching the game, it's a lot quicker. It's so much quicker, and I think everyone in the league is trying to play a quicker style, and everyone's struggling to adjust. Like, it took St Kilda 2 weeks to play a half-decent game against the Giants. The Giants were terrible. by the way. That game wasn't really that good to watch. Yeah, I know it was sloppy, but even like Essendon, even like Port Adelaide, these teams that are around us, none of them really impressed me. No, I didn't watch any of them and was like, man, we're fucked. We're gonna struggle against them. Like we're all around the same like area, kind of. And yeah, it's just like the game's so much quicker. The game's quicker. There's higher scoring games. I think there's a lot more emphasis on faster midfielders now. It's been slowly like turning to that for the last couple of years, but now it's like those big-bodied midfielders, like those contested balls, they don't really impact the game as much unless they're going forward. Like you look at the Bulldogs game, their best on ground was probably this guy called Joel Frazier, I think. I think that's his name.
Had a game.
Him. Yeah, had an insane game. And Bunt was good as well, but Bunton probably had his best impact forward of the ball, like in the forward 50. So I think it's having those big-bodied midfielders move up. And I'd love to see Cripps play like forward 50 time this game. Like majority forward 50 time.
On the speed of the game, yeah, it is quicker. I would be very surprised if these speedy types are just as quick come August, like, July and August. I think it'll level out. Like everything, there's always what looks new, and then it kind of levels out. The fatigue of not only the games, but the season starts kicking in, and then naturally it sort of starts slowing down again. Like, obviously there are players that just are quick. But I think the game, I think we get caught up a lot in, it has to be this way because it looks good right now, and therefore the game is this right now. The game is a lot of things. It's not just about pace. Pace is important. You break the lines. Very, very important to beat certain teams the way that they set up, like obviously. But there's still more to the game than just pace.
Yeah. No, of course. I agree. Like it's pace, but it's also just like, if you notice now, a lot more teams are playing zone defense. No one's really going man-to-man anymore. And I thought that's interesting because we did that as well. In our last two games that we played, against Sydney and against Richmond, we played a zone defense. And we just struggled with it a little bit, but it's just signs that we're working towards changing the game plan. Like there is a change. Like I spoke to Pommy the other day, and he opened my eyes because Pommy's the smartest man I know when it comes to footy, and he's like, "We are changing. There is like change happening," and he explained it in a way that was beautiful. It's like it's not going to happen straight away. It's probably not going to, and it can happen this year, but it's very unlikely. But we do have the players, and we do have the cattle that can evolve this game style into something else.
I appreciated something you said recently. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think you're picking up on the hysterics.
Yeah.
And I think you're also picking up on your influence.
Yeah.
And I like the fact that you've actually tried to stay measured. Like, we all have our moments, mate. I've crashed out more times than you can count. It's taken that many crash outs to eventually chill out. I'm also 34, so you'd hope by now I got like a control over my emotions.
Yeah.
But I won't lie, it's tricky. It's difficult. It's difficult to manage. Like in a world that, like, with the mainstream media, they want to outrage you, and I feel like we go in the same cycle. They bait us. They put the quote up on an image with a photo of us looking down and despondent. It's all a psychological trick, and we fucking fall for it every time.
Yeah. No, I mean, we fell into it last year. Last year, I was really upset. And even this, bro, after the Richmond game, I was so disappointed. But I wasn't disappointed enough to be, like, angry. There was people that were fucking devastated after that Richmond win. And I'm like, okay, I'm upset and I'm disappointed that we played that way. But also, that's where we are. And I think accepting where you are isn't a bad thing. Like, there's a lot of people that'll be like, oh, you can't accept mediocrity. It's this is why the club's in the shits. I'm like, no. Like, did you say this back in, like, 2018, 2019, when we were shit? Like,
I would say part of the reason why the club was in the shit is because we overrated where we were at.
Yeah.
We overinflated our sense of worth and where we really were, where the list really was. Not only, like, everyone, like, I think it's well documented, end of 2023, make a prelim. They made, what was the change at the end of 2023? Elijah? Was that it?
Yep, Elijah and Orazio.
And Orazio. So hindsight's a wonderful thing. I think one thing I've learned from, like, rebuilds, you can't play you can't cut the list too much. We played all those kids way too early and they didn't develop right. And so I think that's a very important lesson to take on as well. But
Yeah.
I think the sooner there's a collective acceptance of where we're at, the sooner you can unite again as to where we're going.
Yeah. Yeah, and then move forward. I mean, as much as I don't like Voss, and listening to Voss speaks makes me genuinely upset at sometimes the things he says. He speaks in like riddles, especially press conferences and stuff. But I think it was the interview he did with Dylan Buckley
Right.
in the off season, and he was like, last year we were too focused on being a top 4 team. Like they weren't there, but they were the whole season. They're like, oh, we should be beating this team. We should be beating that team, and they were letting little wins and little moments go past them. And I think this season it's important not to be like, fuck, why aren't we top 8? Why aren't we top 4? Why aren't we beating Richmond by 60 points? That's not where we are. Like, bro, Jagger Smith had an insane game, and I've heard no one talk about it. Jagger Smith had like 16 touches and 8 score involvements in the first quarter.
Yeah, I don't know if you were watching earlier. I had a very brief exchange with him, and in that moment, I remember when I started out in this game, and like there was a bit of a pushback on like the younger generation coming through, and I met him, had the exchange. I was like, holy shit! Like we have to preserve that. Like you can't lump it onto him. He's got pure joy oozing out of him, and that is actually part of the solution. That's part of the solution. When you are excited about what you're doing, it's infectious. I see the fear and the anxiety on Jacob Wiedering's face right now when I watch him play. There's no freedom.
Yeah. Him, Cripps, Hugh, all the senior players, Mackay, they don't seem...
It's like it's the weight.
Yeah. How much of that do you think we add to it, though? Do you think it's an internal thing? A lot?
A lot. Yeah, a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's because there are a lot of us.
Yeah.
So it's
I agree. Yeah.
amplified. And people do not want to hear any form of perspective about how we can all improve. It's always, oh, well, I show up, I'm being loyal. No. If you show up in the shits and sit there and like cursing at them at the ground, then you're not loyal.
I think it's important to be part of the solution, not the problem. And
I'm
not saying
that you just show up and like, oh, there's my loyalty. Also, I think people have forgotten that you have free will. You don't have to pay your membership.
Yeah, that's a good point. You don't have to go to games.
You don't. If anything, it would help everyone if you know we're shit, cool. Step back, come back when we start playing good. Then you'll enjoy it. They'll enjoy it. We'll enjoy it. Everyone's happy. Yeah.
It's pretty easy to just sit here and fucking lose your mind. Like, it's very easy to turn on the camera and be like, Carlton is shit. Boss is shit. Sack him. Lynch him. It's very easy to do that. But I'd rather... It's not even... It's like... and I don't even care if no one else is like this. But I'd rather take something out of this year than sit here and just complain for the entire... Because last year was rough, man. Last year was terrible. And that's not something I want to do again.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's a forgiveness thing. The club we can get a little lucky with some wins. Maybe that'll spark something, and ultimately winning helps everything. But winning also disguises things. Winning also papers over the cracks. So it's a catch-22. I don't know. It's a weird time, and I'm concerned that all that understanding in the preseason has gone away too quickly.
Yeah. I mean, I also expected change to happen not quickly, but like incremental, like you were saying, incremental wins. But like, opening round was terrible, and I think mainly because it was a grudge game. If Charlie Kerner wasn't there, and we just went to Sydney and lost against Sydney in Sydney, no one would have gave a shit. But there was so much emotion riding on that game. And halftime we were up by like 20, 30 points, whatever. So I think that didn't help. Round 1 against Richmond, I think the fear from last year crept in as well. Like, I had deja vu the whole time I was there. I was like, fuck, what if it's like last year? And the players must think that too. So, look, it's got to be like our next 2 or 3 games. Who do we have? We have Melbourne, North, and then Adelaide. Adelaide is a loss. I don't care how good we are. We never win against them. It's like our bogey team, but we have to win our next 2.
Let's
And
just win Sunday.
we have to, bro. Like we can win Sunday if we lose against North and then Adelaide.
Yeah.
Terry, Hey, I don't want to look too far in the future, but like there's a possibility we could be like 2-6, 2-7.
Mate, there's a possibility of a lot of things.
Yeah, okay, but the likely one is that.
I'm not even trying to be positive, honestly.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be practical.
Okay.
I'm not trying to tell people to just be positive, because there's issues. There's clearly issues that need to be rectified. I'm just trying to focus on what's practical moving forward.
Yeah.
And what's going to
That's
help
fair.
improve the club. Like, yeah. One thing I know for sure is repeatedly just calling them shit ain't going to help. You're not going to whip this team into a premiership. It's 2026. They're cut from a different cloth. You're not going to whip them into success. It won't happen.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's a good point, but like I'm scared. I'm scared, but it's fine. You know what? I'm gonna be positive. I'm gonna back him again. This could be a terrible fucking mistake. I'm gonna back him again until they give me a reason not to. Because then, I'm like a fucking puppy wagging his tail. I show up to games. I'm like, yes, go Carlton. You guys got this, and then they come out and then they fade out, and I'm like, I'm a fucking idiot. Why am I here? Why am I here on public transport midnight? Takes me an hour and a half to get home from games. Like. But you know what? I wouldn't change a thing. I wouldn't change a thing, and I don't think a lot of people would. As much as negativity there is on the internet, I don't think anyone actually really hates this club. I think we all just want the same thing. I don't think anyone actually truly hates this club and wants the worst for them. I think everyone wants the same thing, but people go about it a different way.
I used to think that.
Yeah?
Yeah, I used to think that too.
No, I'm pretty young, so maybe it's youthful ignorance. So
I could be wrong, but I used to think the same thing. I used to think we all wanted success, but we'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah,
big game Sunday.
Massive,
you going?
man. Massive. Yeah, I'll be there. I've got
You're giving away the ticket. Yeah.
I'm giving away the President's Club, and then I've got 4 reserve seats to give away, but I'll do that on Thursday during the teams.
That's sick. Done.
So, yeah. All right, man. I'll speak to you soon. Thanks for calling in.
Done. Catch you. Bye-bye.
Aiden.
Hey, Terry.
What's that brand? What's that beanie?
Oh, it's my mate's kebab shop, Fat Wraps.
Love it.
So he sells merch.
Shout out Fat Wraps.
Yeah. So if anyone lives in the northern suburbs, or Terry, if you're going to come down from wherever you are, go to Fat Wraps. It's best in the city.
Man, love that.
Big.
What are you thinking about the D's? Have you watched the D's?
I didn't watch them on Saturday, but I think we will beat them. Yeah,
Why?
I think we will beat them because I think they lack intensity in and around the ball, and I feel like that the only guy that they have that can win the ball for them is Jack Steele. But other than that, I think we should be fine because clearly against Fremantle, who are a good side, they showed that they lack, I think, star power in and around the midfield since they lost Petrarca and Oliver. So I feel like we have enough to, beat them in and around the ball, and hopefully we're efficient in front of goal, and hopefully we get the 4 points.
Has your opinion changed on the Saints and the D's after watching a few more games now?
I feel like St Kilda, they needed that win. They desperately needed that win because if they lost, and if you look at their, next 2 or even 3 fixtures, I could literally see them losing all of them. If they lost to GWS, it's practically season over for them. But with Melbourne, I don't think my perception of them has changed. I think they'll be bottom 4 or 6 side. I feel like the St Kilda win that they got, it was probably a little sure hit. But again, I could be wrong because footy's a very funny game.
Footy's a very funny game. Yeah. You going to go?
Yeah, I'm definitely going to go. I looked at the forecast before, and it's going to be, pretty. I think the weather should be pretty ugly, so I think we might be in for a scrap. So
Sunday afternoon with
Yeah.
rain. Is it raining?
I just saw it was very cloudy, probably 19 degrees.
Yeah, I kind of
So-
like I like that we're out of prime time for a week. Just Sunday afternoon. Just yeah.
Yeah, we
I don't
all-
think this team and this club is ready right now for prime time expectation.
Oh, we'll have a 5 days after.
That's what I'm saying. Like, we've got Sunday into Friday. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like these next 2 games we have to win both of them. We cannot drop one.
Hmm.
Because if you drop one, then oh boy. But yeah, we need to definitely win our next 2 because I feel like the teams that we verse after might be a very tough ask. But again, just got to stay in the moment and think of Melbourne, and hopefully we get the 4 points against them and worry
Love it,
what
man.
happens after.
All right. Well, I reckon I'll see you team selection Thursday.
Oh, probably, yeah. You probably see me in the chat having a talk about something.
Okay, I'll ask you on Thursday as well once they're done. What do you want? Team selection. Do it now. Obviously, you don't know if certain guys are definitely available, but if your way is what?
I'd make probably 5 changes.
5 changes.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'd
run me
make
through
5 changes.
Run me through. Give me the first one.
I have it on my phone. Just give me 1 sec. Just give me 1 sec. So Chera, Flynn Young, Saad, Newman, and Reedy.
Oh, okay. Sorry, you're listing the 5 for 5. Yep.
Yeah, and Young and the outs are Lewis Young, Fogarty, Ollie Hollands, Hewitt, and O'Keefe.
Dropping
Now,
Hewitt.
yeah, because we can't go into that game with 6 midfielders, and I feel like Cripps and Hewitt don't really work. I mean, they work well together, but our midfield, it's a bit too slow with them 2 playing together. So I feel like we need to mix it up a little bit. And they're not gonna put in Chera, so I feel like Hewitt will come in. Hewitt will go out for Chera. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not sure if that hamstring is ready for full match time, or if he needs to get a half in the VFL. I don't know. I'd be a bit cautious with Chera. He's got such a history of him as well.
Oh yeah, definitely. But again, if you bring him in, you don't know. I mean, I don't. I feel like we don't know how to use the 5th. What is it? Is it the 5th? Because you have 5 on the bench, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like maybe if he comes in, we could kind of manage him a little bit with how Collingwood do with Pendlebury. But yeah, look, it wouldn't surprise me if he doesn't play. But if it was up to me, I'd make definitely 5 changes. And unfortunately, Hewitt comes out for Chera. But again, we'll be coming off a 5-day break anyway. So I mean, yeah, but it could, my opinion could change come Thursday selection time.
All right. Well, Thursday we'll have a little bit more context because we'll get the injury report tomorrow, so we'll know who's going to be available and who's not, and we'll go from there. Quite a few in the chat talking about Taylor Byrne. I'd love to see Taylor Byrne play soon.
Yeah.
Maybe not this week, but soon.
I don't know. I'd probably give him probably a couple of weeks. But yeah, I feel like I don't know because I don't really watch the VFL, but from what I've seen, Flynn Young has been doing very, very well.
Yep.
So
yeah, absolutely.
Well, maybe even Frankie Evans as well, but I don't know. But yeah, look, I think we'll find out on Thursday. And you know what? It's been very good that we haven't had an injury yet. Because normally we tend to lose to the bye. Yeah.
We tend to what?
We tend to lose to the bye at times because we just get an unexpected injury throughout this time of year whenever we have a bye. But it's good that we have a fully strength team and we'll be ready for Melbourne.
Yeah, man, it's a hospital bed out there. So just hope that we can stay as healthy as we can for as long as we can.
I mean, the good thing about it is that most of them aren't soft tissue injuries. I think Chera and I don't know who else. But
tell
the
you now.
other who?
Well, I'll tell you now. 2 of the soft tissue injuries returned last week. That was Carroll and Cowan. So Cottrell is a knee. Hang on, I'll just share my screen. Cottrell is a knee. Francis Evans is also a knee. Saad and Chera are the only soft tissue. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, so shout out to S&C. Doing a good job.
Wow. Look at that, Aiden.
Yeah, I know. Far out. Look, when was the last time we saw that? A full list coming back. That's actually.
So, I reckon. I'm guessing. I don't think Cottrell's going to play this week.
No, he won't play on Friday either.
I don't think Billy Wilson will be in the AFL this week. Saad, I actually don't think many of these guys will come in. Personally, I don't know why you would risk them. Like Chera, he's had just come off a long-ish hamstring. I just think you got to be cautious with him, knowing the speed of the game and what it's doing around the league. I could be wrong as well. I'd just be super cautious.
Yeah, but Saad played opening. I mean, Saad wouldn't have had what? He did play opening round, and he's had a bit of match preparation in him. So,
yeah,
I don't know, but yeah, I'd be making those many changes. But yeah, it's good to have a fully strengthened team. I can't remember the last time we had that. Do you?
It was early 2024. That's the last time we had it.
Oh yeah, those were the good times.
Remember, we had a full list and we were grinding out games, and then I reckon the injuries started happening when Fogarty ran into Nat Fyfe in gather round against Fremantle. That was the game that we won. Cottrell got like the double free kick goal after the siren situation. But I reckon up until that point we're pretty healthy.
Oh yeah, those were the good times. 4-0 and all that, but I don't know. We'll see.
No, we drew. I reckon we drew to Richmond 2024.
Nah, we won. You're talking about 2023.
We drew. Oh, we drew in 2023.
We drew, yeah.
That's
2024, right. we just bet them. But yeah, I don't know. What was that?
We beat him by under a kick.
Yeah. I think Shy Bolton was running down the wing and then he dropped the ball, I think, and then we just won in the forward half in the sign went.
Interesting.
But
all right. Well, I'm going to give away a ticket.
Easy.
I'll speak to you soon, man.
See you Sunday.
See you Sunday. All right. It's time to spin the wheel. So, as part of the Blue Abroad membership, you get access to every single giveaway, among other things. This one was not planned as part of the giveaways, but whenever there's a thing that comes up that I can give away to someone, if you are a member, you have free access to every giveaway. So on Sunday at 3:15 is the game. At 1 o'clock is the President's Club function. Someone is coming with me. I have a spare seat next to me, President's Club function, and then also a ticket sitting with me in the Olympic stand. So someone's going to win it, and I'm going to call them tonight. And I'm going to bring someone to the footy with me. It's great. So good luck to everyone. I mean, this could be over with one spin. This could be over, I don't know, we could be here until 10 p.m. So let's just see. Here we go. Oh, so I don't know what I'll do if people are not in the country and they're members, but we'll deal with that if it happens. Judith Jane Abbey, congratulations. You've won a spot at the footy on Sunday. Let's see. Let's have a look. Okay. This is promising. But we need her to accept the ticket. All right. Let's have a look. There's so many layers to this. because you spin the wheel, and then you got to get the confirmation over the phone. Hello, Judith.
Yes.
Hello,
speaking.
it's Terry Degani from Blue Abroad. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, Terry.
That's the
Hang
way.
on, I've got. I'm watching something on Instagram about painting. Hang on. Let me just turn that out of there. Right.
Just want to let you know that you are live. I'm calling you live while I'm on the show.
Okay.
And that's
What an honour.
well, that's also because you've won something.
Oh, and I haven't watched this evening's show, so apologies.
No, that's okay. So basically, I had an opportunity at the last week. So on Sunday, I've got a spare ticket to the President's Club function, and also a reserved seat with me. And
Oh, wow.
so basically, I've spun the wheel. Your name's come up. If you can come and you can accept the ticket, then we're going to go to the footy together.
Wonderful. Yes, I'll be there. We were going anyway, but my daughter will sit in her seat and I'll sit with you. That sounds fantastic.
Perfect. We're going to have a 3-course meal, all the hoo-ha. We're going to dress up, and then we're going to watch the Blues beat the D's.
Fabulous.
Too good.
Well, that's exactly what's going to happen, right?
That's exactly what's going to happen, Judith.
Call me Judy, please.
Oh, Judy. Sorry, I've got your legal name here. So
Yeah, that's
yeah,
okay.
we're
I
on.
know you're a lawyer, so fair enough.
Okay.
Call me Judith.
Awesome. Well, Judy,
Yes,
thanks very
thank
much for your
you.
support. I'll be in touch once the show ends, and I'll send you details. And yeah, can't wait.
Yes, and go Blues, everyone.
Go
On
Blues.
the show and listening to the show.
Thanks, Judy. See ya.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
You know what? That's good karma. I'll tell you why. Because the shit show that it was to get this set up today, I can't tell you. I was this close to pulling the pin and just saying, guys, I'll be back next week. There is shit everywhere. Everywhere here. But I'm glad. And the fact that just happened, and the first phone call, and it went through, and she's accepted. Like, usually those things take a few phone calls, but we got there. Anyway, Judy, congratulations. And also thank you to everyone who is a member of Blue Abroad, of the channel. It means the world. And yeah, just thank you for your support. If you'd like to sign up, obviously you can do so at any point in time. And that's that. Guys, the preview will be out. I think I'll do it on Wednesday. I think I want to see the injury report first, and also it's a Sunday game so we can breathe. So the preview will be out Wednesday. Tomorrow night I'll be here for Footy Abroad. I might also do a little something for the injury report. I'll be at training tomorrow morning. That's what I'll be doing. I'll be at training. I'll do a training report. I'll get the injury report, hopefully. I'll get the goss on the injury report. That's what I'll do. That's my task. I want to find out who's going to be available for selection. So anyway, thanks for being here. Much love to all of you, and go Blue.
At Greenrock Advisory, we believe financial progress begins with clarity, confidence, and the right people in your corner. So since 2016, we've helped thousands of Australians move from uncertainty to direction, building wealth with intention, not guesswork. We're a dedicated firm leading the way with a holistic approach to accounting, tax optimisation, property strategy, and portfolio management, all integrated under one roof. That means every decision supports the bigger picture. Our clients don't just buy property, they build portfolios, they optimise tax, they structure their wealth and design the retirement that they want, with a team that stays with them long after the purchase is made. Greenrock Advisory, a legacy of trust, a future built with purpose.